It's fairly well known that the number one subject of music and song is love. Following closely behind at number 2 is that time-old tradition of hooking up. Having relations, doing it, getting laid, sex. You know, the booty call. And I thought it would be fun to put together a list of the most iconic bass lines from this genre. But first, a couple of qualifiers. The song has to be about the thing. It can't just have the word sex in the title. For example, take James Brown. Get up, get on up. From what I can tell, this song is about staying on the scene and getting to the bridge. Also, there are some totally obvious songs that are about the thing. Let's get it on. But without that hook in the bass line, it's just not making my list. So without further ado, here are the 15 greatest booty call bass lines. Number 15 is an ode to hooking up in a park inside the city limits of Washington, D.C. Recorded by the Blackbirds on their City Life album. This one features a classic bass line played by the one and only Joe Hall. Number 14 is a classic ode to a one-night stand, played by one of the biggest bands of the 1980s. From Duran Duran's 1982 album, Rio, this was the third single from that record. And John Taylor's bass line just carries the tune. Number 13 went to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974. It also launched the phrase "Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir" into the zeitgeist. From the LaBelle album, Nightbirds, this one features the bassist from the Meters, George Porter Jr. Number 12 was one of the biggest songs of 2013, including winning the Grammy for Record of the Year. Featuring Pharrell Williams and Nile Rodgers on guitar, this was an ode to what keeps the planet spinning. From the Daft Punk album, Random Access Memories. This one features an unforgettable bass line that changes throughout the song and is played by the great Nathan East on bass. Number 11 was this singer's first big hit in the US, going all the way to number 2. Produced and co-written by Giorgio Moroder, this one is arguably more famous for the moaning than it is the singing. From Donna Summer's 1975 album, Love to Love You Baby, this is an iconic bass line recorded in Germany and played to perfection by American-born bassist Dave King. The song at number 10 was the only Billboard number 1 hit for this band from Australia, and it was everywhere when I was in the 9th grade. The video was played every hour on the hour on MTV. From the NXS album Kick, this one features Gary Beers on the bass. Songs about sex? Yeah, there's no way I can leave out Prince. I had to pick one though, so I'm going with a song about betting a woman on her way to getting married. From the album that cemented Prince's spicy reputation, 1980's Dirty Mind, and played on the bass by who else? Prince. Number 8 only made it to number 32 on the Hot 100, but it announced the arrival of one of the great funk bands from Ohio. This was their first hit and a popular dance track. In fact, it's easy to think that this song is about dancing until you get to the line, "Don't be afraid, 'cause you're gonna be laid." From Slave's 1977 self-titled album, this one features the great Mark Adams on bass. The song at number 7 was a number 1 R&B hit for 10 weeks, and it ended up being Marvin Gaye's last hit song. I had to get him in here. From the 1982 album Midnight Love. This is the only keyboard bass line on my list, and it was played on a Roland Jupiter 8 by Mr. Marvin Gaye himself. The song at number 6 went all the way to number 1 in 1986. The lead single from Peter Gabriel's So album was the last song to be recorded and ended up being the most played video on MTV during that time. Wait, you didn't know this song was about that?
Show me around your fruit cage, 'cause I will be your honeybee. Open up your fruit cage, where that fruit is as sweet as can be.
Featuring one of the most unique bass lines ever, played by the great Tony Levin. The bass line at number 5 is just wicked, regardless of the subject. Fishbone frontman Angelo Moore said about this song, "Bonin' in the boneyard, that was about having sex, man. Bonin'." From Fishbone's second album, 1988's Truth and Soul. This one features amazing playing by the amazing Norwood Fisher on the bass. We can't have a list about booty call songs without the original booty call band, Led Zeppelin. The song at number 4 is a kind of interpolation of a song by blues legend Howlin' Wolf called Killing Floor. And I dare you to look up the lyrics, because this one is spicy. From the 1969 album Led Zeppelin II, featuring the great Sir John Paul Jones on bass. We also can't leave out the king of hookup music from this list, Mr. Barry White. The song at number 3 was a #1 R&B hit in 1973 and gets about as baby-making as music gets. From the album I've Got So Much to Give, this was most likely played by the late, great Wilton Felder on bass. The song at number 2 was one of the last hits of the disco era, going to #1 in 1979 in the US and the UK. It was originally written for a young Stacey Lattisaw, if you can believe that. Double entendre? Check. Funky bass line? You better believe it. This bass line is the whole song. From the 1979 album Songs of Love by Anita Ward. This one features the amazing Ray Griffin on bass. When it comes to music about sex, there can be only one #1, Rick James. This whole list could have been just his songs, but I'm going to go with a song that was released on my 7th birthday in 1981. It spent 5 weeks at #1 on the R&B charts and is built off of an iconic bass line from the 1980 album Street Songs and featuring on bass and hand claps, I believe, the great Oscar Alston. Well, that's my list, and I'm sticking to it. What's your favorite booty call bass line? Let me know in the comments. This was an incredibly fun video to do, and I want to give a shout out to my wife for helping me put this one together.
You're welcome!
I think Shakespeare said it best. If music be the food of love, play on.